Hey, um, so yeah, I just wanted to make a new video. I'm just in my apartment, uh, so I had to take the day off from work. It's just I'm worked like freaking like it must have been over 2 weeks in a row, like every day. Not like 12 hours a day, but even just working like 7 or 8 hours a day for a couple weeks, it gets to you. So I just wanted to make this video about what happened to me with Mac DeMarco back in, uh, I guess 2014, 2015 is when it all happened. I met him originally in Montreal when it was probably 2000, I don't even remember, 2012 or 13. Actually, the first time I met him, there used to be this like place called the Drones Club, and uh, I was gonna record. I ended up not recording there, but I was gonna record there with a guy, and the band, Peter Sager's band, was jamming there. So I was like completely unaware of any of it at that point, and I just remember Mac coming up the stairwell because he was playing drums for Home Shake or something, and he looked at me, and he's like quite a bit younger then, and he just like, and it kind of gave me this like, oh look, I'm here kind of thing, like, whatever, and I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? And I kind of just like sat there and like listened to them jam, home shake jam. Like, oh, that's fucking cool. Little did they know he's gonna become like the biggest, you know, thing in the world, pretty much. Um, that was like the first time I met him, and then like I was kind of like unaware of it for a while. Like I had a girlfriend. We were like doing our own band, and um, so I was kind of like more caught up in my little world while this dude is like gaining like huge traction, like huge, like literally one of the biggest musical acts in the world. Like if you look at like Songkick, like that website Songkick where all the shows are, he's like up there. He's like 500 out of like all the touring acts in the world, and that's like including like huge bands that have been around for like decades too, right? So like if you compare it, like, you know, like you compare it to like U2 and like shit like that. So dude's like, and his new music's great too. I was listening to that, and it's really good. So yeah, like I hung out with him, and then I ended up like having a kid. So I was kind of like dissociated from the whole music scene, and then once I kind of went nuts, and like, anyways, we split up with the girl, and so I never really started to hang out with them too much until like, I guess it was like winter 2014, and that's when like, I think like Salad Days was coming out, and there's already a lot of traction. So I was like, we're hanging out a bit for a little while, and then I remember the drummer Joe sent me this like Facebook message because we were talking a lot on Facebook, and he's like telling me that the drummer in Deafheaven was a shapeshifter, and I made like a video about it a while ago, but so he's like, yeah, we saw this band Deafheaven play in Belgium, I think it was, and his eyes were like glowing yellow, like he was possessed, and his like forehead was furrowing, and his up mouth would twist. So I'm like, yeah, right. Like, I don't believe that. So my band was playing a festival in Montreal called Pop Montreal, and I think I mentioned this to the guy who like starts the festival or whatever. And I ended up getting like interviewed about it. I remember the girl Roxanne emailed me. She's like, "Oh, we are emailing everyone about their shows or something. And I'm like, okay. So I'm like, that doesn't sound like you're not actually humiliating every band, but I had these like series of questions to answer, and I just answered them in like kind of a weird way, and then, like a lot of it was like, what's the deal with the drummer in Deafheaven and stuff. I'm like, oh, apparently he's a shapeshifter. I don't even remember what I said. So we ended up like playing the show, and I went to their show, and I was let backstage, I guess. Like it was just at some like small club, and which I get back to is one. There was an interesting thing that happened with Mac DeMarco about 6 months previous to Deafheaven playing at this club, which is really strange. So I go in, I just like see, like I'm like they let me in, so I'm like standing on the side of the stage, and they're playing. They're like really good band, and then I seen his like eyes like glow yellow. It was really weird. And then I yelled something like, and he like got off the drums and like shook my hand, which was kind of strange. And I just like watched them play, and I'm like, that's pretty good. Hmm. Shape shifting drummers playing metal at a club. And then I don't know, for whatever reason, I like go into their dressing room, and I'm like sitting there, and the band comes in, and they're all like really nice dudes, like super nice, like overly nice. And the drummer like sits on the couch, and he starts like panting back and forth. He's like with his like hand over his like head and with his like between his legs, like he's almost like having a panic attack or something. And I was like, what the fuck is going on here? And so I like put my hand on his head and prayed for him, because I was like, what else do I do, right? And then I like I was gonna, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of high when this was going on, but I was like terrified to even go there in the first place. I'm like, this guy is a shapeshifter, and he's gonna like attack me or something. You know what I mean? Like I was like terrified to like even do this, and like I did a little bit of Molly to kind of give me the courage to go do it. But then he turned out to be a really nice person, and I was like, pretty stoked to meet him. And so then I don't know, I like went out on the road and like played, and there was like all the people that were like playing, or all the people that went to the Deafheaven show were like standing on the sidewalk watching me play songs. And the promoter was like really against me. He's like, you're not allowed to come here. And then because I like drank a couple of other beer or something, he like got mad. And he like came in and pushed me. So I was like kind of pissed at him. So like, oh, this is getting kind of long. So anyways, that happened. And then like I was like, okay, I gotta like, I don't know what I was trying to do. So we ended up like, I was living in Halifax at the time, so we went back to Nova Scotia, and then I think it was like a couple months later, Mac DeMarco was playing at the Rialto Theatre with Conan Moccasin, and this is what bothers me. This is okay. This is what I don't like about the Masons and shit. Okay, so he was playing at the Rialto Theatre. We were let in backstage, and like I was kind of being a bit of a dick. I get it. Like I was like, fuck the Illuminati shit. It's not cool. And I'm not saying I'm perfect. Like I'm a sinner too, and I'm trying to correct my behaviors. And I'm not putting anyone down, but in context, right? I was maybe being a little bit, belligerent in a comedic fashion, right? Like I was doing it in a way that I was like, why are you being so nice to me kind of thing. I'm being such a dick. And so we just hung out, it was like, I met a bunch of people, and then so what did I do? Oh, okay, I went on the stage when they're playing, and then like I was already in the backstage area like the whole night, so it wasn't like I just ran up in the crowd. So I took my friend's guitar and we went up and we were like standing on the stage because we are trying to like make this little like message thing. And the security comes and like picks me up and like throws me outside. I'm like, okay, whatever. Fuck Satan. I think it was a little more dramatic than that, but I did that. And then a really shitty thing happened. It was like after we left, we went off stage. That we went to the front of the venue, and then some asshole came. He's like, "Can I play your guitar?" And it wasn't even my guitar. It was my friend and my friend slash guitar drummer's childhood guitar or something. And then he smashed it on the road, and it was like the most like demonic possessed kid I've ever seen. It's just like fuck every like, and then he just like laughed. I'm like, oh man. So Almac, my friend, he's pretty upset, you know. But so after the show, we go back to like the alleyway, and we see everyone like DeMarco and his band and entourage type folks, and I'm like, oh yeah, well, it really roughed you up or whatever, and I'm like, whatever, it's just part of the act, right? And so we chat a little bit, and and they were playing in Toronto the next night, and so I asked Mac, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna come, I'll be chill, you know, let me let me in, put me on the guest list. I'm like, and he's like, okay, I will put you on the guest list. And then I'm like, no, seriously, put me on the guest list, and he did, and we like hugged, and then I like went off on my way, and then I don't know what I did after that, but I was pretty drunk. But the next night we drive to Toronto, and then we go to the to Danforth Music Hall, and this is the most scariest time of my life. I'm not even kidding. We go there, and like there's a bunch of people there. It's like pretty big show, and I go to the ticket gate to get my ticket, and the guy at the booth I'm like, my name's Jared Brown. I'm on the guest list, I think. And he's like, he acknowledged me. He's like, okay, I see your name here. And he's like about to like give me the wristband or whatever. And this big ass guy, not even kidding, probably like, close to 7 feet tall, fucking huge, like built, like looks like a biker, like comes up and he's like waiting for me, like at the gate. Like this fucking big dude is waiting for me. For me, he's like, somebody told him to like wait until Jared Brown comes here and then make sure he doesn't come inside. And I wasn't even gonna do anything. I was like, just like, you know, like, let's just go back to Nova Scotia. Like, we got our footage or whatever. And he's like, you're not coming in here. And he was like, just really intimidating. And it was like, at the time, it was really scary. Because, like, I was on the guest list, and then there's also this guy, like, being waiting for me to make sure I didn't get near DeMarco. And I was like, this is weird. Like, this is some, like, weird Illuminati shit. And, like, if you watch the interview or, like, I don't know, whatever I did the night before, and then posted that, maybe I overthought it, like, oh, I think these guys are trying to, like, kill me or something. And, like, it was scary. And I saw Mac's old bass player probably, like, I don't know, a year or so ago. And I went up to him. He was playing here in Victoria, where I live now, with Walter TV, and he's like, yeah, it was the bad Masons. So he basically told me it was the bad Freemasons that were behind that whole little, like, thing. So that was kind of scary to me. Like, it doesn't really faze me as much now, but it was definitely some weird stuff. So like I don't really understand it completely, but that did happen, and it was a bit disturbing. Um, even my dad said something like he's like, "You're getting too close," because they don't want anyone to like expose it or something. You know what I mean? Like it's like if you go around and say stuff and nobody listens to you, they don't care. But as soon as people start listening to you and you start gaining traction and people are like, "Oh, what's going on here?" and you get a little bit of audience, then they start to get mad. Anyways, I think I probably left some stuff out, but that's kind of what happened. And I haven't seen Mac DeMarco since that night in Montreal. You know, like I haven't seen him. I haven't heard from him. You know, I'd like to see him again, but it seems like I'm on like. Anyway, I'm not gonna get into this part, but I think they're trying to keep us separated to some extent. But like I'm not like I think his music's good. I'd love to go on tour with him and try to do some positive stuff. But I'm just working on my little life, trying to be a good dad, and live a more low key life. Put it that way, because that to me is more fulfilling. Because when we used to hang out, it was weird. It was like you see people gawking, and it's like, oh my god, and it's like I don't want I don't want that. I think it's cool. Like someone comes up, hey Jared, he makes some good tunes. That's cool. But like to have people like flocking over you, oh man, that would be weird. Anyways, that's what happened. So good luck. God bless.